Okay, so for this installment, we're going to use the Ubuntu Pygame template. So we're going to use quickly to make a game, or I'll demonstrate how to do that. So let's get started here. We'll just do quickly create Ubuntu, and instead of saying application, we're going to say Pygame. And now we need to name it, and I'm making a game called Crash Droids. It's going to be sort of Crash Droids like. You can see I like Crash Droids because you see the template here has got some basic Crash Droids functionality built in. There's that red guy there is a homing missile that's built in. You can see I can shoot, and there's an enemy here, and it's got collision detection. It's got collision detection built in, and it's got explosions built in. So that's all working already. So now I'm going to make the game look a little different. I actually made some artwork using Inkscape a few minutes ago. Let's look at that artwork. Um, so that's the background that I made. That's a bullet. That's going to be like an enemy. He's going to be like a little disc that spins around. That's the game over screen. Like eventually I'll put like, the controls, directions and stuff on that. That's my guy. These are the explosion stages, so I'll use these to animate an explosion. And that's the guy when he's flying. Okay, so what I want to do to get those images is I'm going to copy those images into the media directory for my project. Oops. Do, do, do. Okay, so now I've copied all those guys in there, and now let's run the game. I'll use the quickly run command. It derives from the Ubuntu application template, so it works exactly the same. So I'll run that, and there you can see it's picked up my new artwork, but you can see there's some weird effects because the sizes are different. See, got a new explosion and everything. Um, So let's fix that artwork issue. So we do that by writing some code. So just like the Ubuntu application template, I use quickly edit. That opens all my code up. In gedit, my editor of choice, I'm going to go to the Crash Droids config file. This is where, just like in the Ubuntu application template, this is where you configure everything that's general for the whole application. And so screen width and screen height is managed from here because that's used a lot by different sprites and stuff. They need to know, how close they are to the side and this kind of thing. So 700 by 700 is exactly how big I made the image. So it should fit like a glove. And if we run it, we can see that that's managed. The screen wrapping and the sizing, everything's just right, just fits that just right. So I've successfully set the screen to the size of the background color. Now, actually, let me run it again because you can see, notice when when the guy flies, when I stop, I press L to go forward, and when he stops, he just puts on the brakes when I let go of the L key. Well, I like the kind of physics where it's slidey, like in outer space, like frictionless. So let's go and change the way the guy works so that he doesn't have friction. So I'll quit the game here by hitting the escape key, and then I'll go to the guy file. So guy.py, guy is the module that has the guy class. So the guy class derives from base sprite. And base sprite is a class that's generated by the Ubuntu Pygame template, and base sprite derives from the Pygame sprite class. So this does almost all the hard work of managing a sprite for you. So let's look at this guy a little bit and see where we can fix physics there to be the way they run. So we're going to go to the update function. Every sprite has an update function. What the update function does is every time there's a clock tick, it updates the internal data. And so now you can see here that in the update function that's generated, it says if you're not accelerating, you should be stopped. But I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be if you're not accelerating, you're not accelerating, but you're not necessarily stopped. So I'm just going to delete those lines of code. I'll save it. Now if you're not accelerating, you can see you keep going. So I like that physics a lot better for this. Okay, so I successfully made the physics the way that I want, but you notice when you're accelerating, you can't really see the difference when you're accelerating. See, he just kind of goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little animation. What I'm going to do is make it so when you're accelerating, it uses a different image for the sprite, and that is the one with that little flame. Okay, so first I have to go to the config file. And the reason I'm going here is because I have to create a new variable here. I just want to manage that image by a variable name for the direction of the path. I don't want to have to manage like path information within the sprite classes. So I named that particular image Guy Flame. So let's use it now. Oh look, I just happened to see some code right here that I need. So I'm going to copy this code. I'll explain it in a sec. So the guy has an accelerate function and a stop acceleration function. And this is exactly where I want to do this work. So I'm going to copy some code in here and then modify it real quick. So if you are accelerating, which means that you have the L key down, if you're accelerating the guy, I want, or you start accelerating it, when you push it down, I want to change the master image and then update the image for the sprite. But now, the image that I want was called Guy Flame. Okay, and so the master image is the image that gets referred to whenever it gets permutated, say by rotating it. The reason that is because you don't want to rotate an image and then keep rotating the same image. It gets fuzzy real quick if you do it that way. So whenever you do a rotation, you want to go back to the original image and rotate it. Update image is an internal function that tells the it's an internal function that tells the sprite to update the image. The reason I pause there is because this doesn't look right to me. Did I name it that? I named it flame img. Whatever. Okay. Flame img. Okay. So now when you stop accelerating, I want to go back to the regular image. So let's fix that here. Okay. But I remember the default image is called Guy img. Let's see if that worked. Okay. Oh, flame img is not defined. He's not defined is because I didn't import him directly, so I need to import him from the. I need to call him from the module. That was very silly of me. Funny how you can get confused by these things when you know you've done them 100 times. It's more like it. Whoa. Okay, you can see now that I get a nice little boosty animation effect there by changing the image.